Hello Kaijudo people, this is Matt Riddle doing a deck review for a player that came in 6th place at the Asheville Kaijudo Master Challenge, Peter Blankenship. He's running Mono Darkness, and I thought it'd be really interesting if I caught this and let everybody know about how he built his deck. So this is Peter. Hello. Hello. We're gonna go over a deck. So how would you want to start? Where do you want to start?
Well, I can start by the actual theme of the deck here.
Okay.
The theme of the deck is I have a whole bunch of different Pokemon, like this guy here, this guy over here, that allows me to scavenge back my creatures.
Okay. Yeah.
The deck, in and of itself, is not complete because I still need some more cards for it.
Okay.
Like there's some cards just thrown in here, like this guy over here.
Gotcha.
But the premise of it is to scavenge this guy back, as well as a lot of my other blockers. For the fact that when he dies, my opponent loses a card from hand.
Gotcha.
And as you can see with my shield triggers, that's a little bit of a theme of the deck, is to make them go away.
Yeah.
I have, of course, only one of these. If I had more, it'd be in here, which is a shield trigger in and of itself, but it brings back one of my creatures that goes away.
Gotcha.
Then I've got some Death Smoke and some Bone Blades, also for creature destruction. And since most of my creatures are chimeras, I'm going with the evolution of it, so that I can also get the effect, basically creature kill. And I like that. Yeah. Just one-shot creature kill. If I had more of them, they'd be in here, which is going to happen because I do actually have gotten a couple of more from my winnings. So this deck is going to be altered some from here.
Nice.
So it's going to get a lot better. And I just there's a thing about Scaradorable. I just like him in all his different forms, which is why I've got the bat form, the dark Scaradorable. Now the dark Scaradorable is really nice. I love it because when it comes into play, it blows up its shield.
Gotcha.
So I love that. And of course I also got the nice little Scaradorable of Gloom Hollow here, which I will have more in here once I do some alteration. Nice. Now, like I said, there's a couple throwing cards like this guy. This guy's also another throw-in. They're going to be eventually replaced because they were just thrown in here.
Did the Slayer ever help you out?
Slayer didn't really help me out any. He always ended up in my zones to produce some mana, so I could actually summon stuff. He never really helped me out. The same thing is going to go here with these guys. I love their effect, but they're just too high for me to keep in the deck.
Gotcha. So
they're going to be replaced by some other stuff as well.
Gotcha.
Now, of course, I do like some others, like this guy right here. I love the fact I used him instead of the, there's an ooze that has a similar effect, except when it comes into play, my opponent loses a card. Yeah. I didn't like that because it's only one turn effect, where his is whenever he attacks, they lose a card, which is what I like.
Cool.
And then, of course, I've got my lovely blockers. I've got some of the little Dream Pirates. I like them.
Yeah.
I've got, of course, the Skeeter Swarm, which are nice because, I mean, 2 for 4,000. Granted, they die, but with the effect of the scavenge, I can get them right back.
Definitely.
And them being really nice and cheap.
Uh-huh.
Now, of course, my favorite of all my lovely blockers are my Mirror Oozes. Just for the simple fact that they now have special places because they won me one of my rounds in the tournament.
That's awesome.
My opponent forgot that in and of itself they can attack, but they die when they attack. So I had already wiped out their last shield. They thought my turn was over, and then I swung with him.
Nice.
For the game. Which they was like, oh, I forgot they can attack. I was like, of course, they can attack, but they die, but when else would they attack but to win me a game?
Nice. Anything else?
I mean, well, there's really nothing other than these guys, which I love these guys, because not only can I hit their hand with this guy, but I can hit their deck with this guy.
Nice. Why don't we go over how many of each you put in there? So, 2, you want to just...
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 2 of the Skull Cutters, which are eventually going to be replaced.
Okay.
We've got the Gorgon Shadow of Gluttony, which is eventually going to be replaced. I originally put him in there just because he's 5,000 for 3, pretty nice, but only one of them is just not that useful.
Yeah.
And of course the Bat Breath Scaradorable. I just like the Scaradorable. So there's only one of it in here. If I could get some more, I'd put more in there because I do like it. I mean, it's 4,000, but it's got a fairly nice effect.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got 2 of the Ghost Spies, which are eventually going to be replacing him himself. At first, they were great for the deck, but I realize now that they're just too high cost for what they do.
Gotcha.
And the Dark Scaradorable, there's 2 in here. I love this little guy. When this deck first came into being, there was only the one. Then I got a hold of a second one, and I love it. I'd like to have a third one just because I love that effect of blowing up shield when he comes into play.
Definitely.
Right now, there's only one of the Hydra Medusa, but there will be more. Then we go up here. We've got the Grave Scourger. There's only 2 of him right now, but if I can get more, there will be more. Because in and of itself, I mean, he is 4 for 2,000, but he does have that scavenge, which I do like.
Nice.
Then we've got 3 of this guy right here, which I always have trouble pronouncing his name.
Gigastan?
Yeah, Gigastan. We got 3 of him. He's my lovely guy that allows me to lose their cards in hand when he attacks. So.
Gotcha.
And this guy is actually what made me come across with this deck in the first place. Scavenging Chimera, just because of his effect. His effect, he gets 2,000 more power. He becomes a 3,000 for 2 if all my cards in my monozone are darkness. Plus, he can scavenge.
Nice.
And he was the reason I made this deck. Made a mono darkness was all because of him.
Nice.
I just liked him.
He's definitely good.
Yeah. And then we've got, of course, we've got the Scythe up here, which is nice because he's the guy that makes them lose cards from their deck. So not only am I hitting their hand, but their deck as well. Which he was very nice because he got rid of, during one of my opponents, I got rid of 2 of their most powerful creatures in their deck that they were hoping for to win the game, win the match.
Nice.
I got rid of them with him.
Nice.
And then we got my Dream Pirate for my blocker. He's 3 for 3,000. Got a very nice effect here. He's what I like him as a blocker. I mean, he's 3 for 3,000. Pretty nice. And then we've got my Mirror Ooze, which has a special place in my heart. There's 3 of him. And our stated we have only 1 Scaradorable of Gloom Hollow, which will eventually become more. I do love him. He's 3 for 2,000, but I love his effect because he can't be killed by anything, well, level 4 or less.
Definitely.
So, I mean, a lot of the big nasties that are level 4 or less, he blocks them and neither one die.
Definitely.
And then we've got my Dredge Weaver here, which is my mill from hand, as well as a lovely blocker. We've only got 2, but there will be 3.
Gotcha.
Then we've got my Skeeter Swarm, 2 for 4,000. Very nice. We've got 3 of the Death Smoke, which are very nice. These came in very handy. I only ever had to put 1 of them in my zone to generate mana. Then we've got my Spectre Claws, which are very nice. These have triggered and got rid of some really nice things from my opponent's hands during the tournament. I've got 3 of them for shield triggers. My Bone Blades, I've got 3 of them for shield triggers. They're very nice too. They came in very handy. I was able to get rid of a couple things that before they could evolve.
Nice.
So they came in very handy.
Definitely.
Right now I have only 1 from Return from Beyond. I hope to get more. I do love it because I love the fact it brings back one of my level 4 or less creatures, which it also doesn't bring back Evolve, but it brings back any of my level 4, so that can bring back any of my very useful cards for Scavenge, or it could even bring back, it could even bring back my Scavenging Chimera.
Yeah,
so that I can start to scavenge back up.
I mean, pretty much everything in your deck, minus the Hydra Medusa and the Dark Scaradorable, can be brought back with the Return from Beyond.
Yeah, I mean, minus those, they can be brought back. And that's the best part, is the fact that I can bring back pretty much everything in the deck. I don't mind not being able to bring back the Evolution or the Dark Scaradorable, but I can bring back anything else, which is why I would like to get more, because of how low everything is. And with the fact that everything is so low cost, it makes it easier for me to swarm my opponent before they have a chance to react.
Nice. So how many cards is the total deck?
There is 42 in the deck.
42. So I'm just going to give one more wide view for people to see.
Yeah. 42 has always been one of my more luckier numbers. In most of the decks that you can have 40 or less cards, I always go with 42 because I like to have 42. It's a little geek in me because 42 is from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Gotcha, okay.
Universe and everything.
I knew that sounded familiar.
And that's why any deck that I can make 42, I make it 42. And
Gotcha.
They usually always work much better at 42 than I've seen them work at 40 or more.
Cool. Well, congratulations on the great placing, and congratulations on a really creative deck, and I can't wait to see what you do with it in the future.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what it does once it's finished, because I can see going from 6 to all the way to 1st when it's finished.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you for participating in the video.
You're very welcome.
Bye.